I would like to call the meeting of the Berlin Cable Access to order at 6:41 on May 26, 2022.
Yes.
All who are in attendance are Roger Bradley.
Here.
And our station manager, Brittany Blaney.
Here.
And I am on the phone line, Patricia Anderson.
There we go.
Okay. There we go. I will take the minutes. Should I read our last minutes?
Sure.
So that we can not validate, but to
review?
What is the word? What's that?
Review
The minutes of our last meeting, which was 4/28/2022. Bear with me because I'm just going to read it. Looks like notes.
Okay.
So it starts out with the quote we initially received for the video equipment was $16,660. And we are taking quotes now outside of the procurement officer quotes. The station manager will take quotes outside of the government contract from the company she knows the work, and the bids will be most likely lower than the ones that will come in after the bids were put in. Doesn't make sense. But this was after those bids were sent to us from Margaret. I mean, this was before that. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So we had the meeting before we got the bids from Margaret, so they were pretty high.
No, I think we got them after, didn't we?
What's that?
Didn't we?
I never saw. I didn't see the
didn't.
bids.
No, we didn't get the bid. Pretty much
All
sure
right.
we didn't have the bids until after the meeting.
Can
It was like the next day.
Oh yeah.
I thought what the bids weren't for 16,000. That's what we spent for the equipment.
Yeah, we spent 16,000 at the end of FY21.
That's what we bought the video equipment and cameras for. I thought the quotes came in like at 30,000.
No, the quotes came in at like 60 and 50,000 or something like that.
60 and 50.
Yeah, it was.
When initially our
change.
First assessment was 30,000 to do the whole thing.
Yep, correct.
Okay, so should I change this, or should I just say that this was in the new minutes? Say that was wrong.
I think you can amend the minutes and then approve, and then you guys can vote on the amended minutes.
Yeah.
So we spent we have spent 16,660.
Yeah.
Oh, 78. You got the right 78?
Yeah, well, that's what I wrote down. 16,678 and 67 cents.
And 67 cents on the equipment. And we were waiting for the bids, the official bids, right? Official bids through the procurement officer.
Yes.
Okay. There we go. But we did decide beforehand just taking quotes outside of the procurement officer quotes, right?
Yeah, outside of that bid list.
Before we even saw the quotes, right?
Well, I think we had got.
No, we didn't. We actually didn't get them yet.
Okay. Yeah.
As far as I remember.
But
I think we had decided that it was. Because we had talked before we even got the quotes, right?
I think one of the quotes had come in, if I'm remembering, and then after we met, another one had come in that was even more.
Okay.
But
so maybe I hadn't seen them yet either.
I think I don't think you had seen them. I had just mentioned it to you that they had come in.
Okay.
I can't remember what I can't remember the name of the bid list or whatever, but it's this Combis, I don't know, it's like 440 or something like that, whatever.
But it wasn't the contractor that we initially wanted to use.
Right.
The issue was that there was two different contractor or vendors that I've worked with in the past that we wanted to. Yeah, that's what it was actually. It was that two of the contractors that we had used, that I've used previously and that I have experience with, had put in bids initially, and then one of them couldn't put in a bid under this new Combis thing, and then I thought that the other one could, but then it turned out they actually couldn't, so we weren't going to have any vendors that I've worked with in the past submitting a bid, and I was just a little bit concerned about just sort of going with a vendor that I have no experience with and don't know them at all or anything. So
yeah, I have that in there, right?
Yeah.
The stage manager will take quotes outside the government contract.
Yeah, no, it's coming.
She knows the work, and the bids will be most likely lower than the ones coming in after the bids are put in.
Perfect.
Yeah, I'm it's coming back to me now, and that's what it was. Is that vendor had given me a quote, but then afterwards he was like, "Oh no, it looks like I actually can't even give you that." But based on the quote that he gave versus the quote he had given previously when we weren't doing the Combis list or whatever, I knew that outside of that Combis list that things will be less expensive. Just, the difference in his quotes was like huge. So I knew it was going to be, none of them were going to be within our budget.
Right. So you kind of knew of one, but then didn't know of all of them.
Yeah, I knew of that one, but in actuality, we weren't even going to be able to use that one because he couldn't even bid. But based on just his quote, I knew the rest of them were going to be really high too.
Yeah, I'm looking at one that's Pro AV Systems.
Yep.
And that one came in as $65,000.
Yeah. Where it should, in reality, be less than 30, because we bought $16,000, almost $17,000 worth of equipment.
Right. So, all right. All right, so I'm just going to go on with the minutes now. Mm-hmm. Sorry,
no
two different things. It just says Memorial Day. We won't be a parade, just a ceremony, and that's still the same, right?
Yep. It's happening at 9 a.m. and we'll be covering it.
All right. Station manager will set up the equipment for town meeting. Equipment needs are cups for the earphones, $30. The committee made a motion to buy new air cups for a pair of headphones. The station manager will talk to Mitch Mariani to record playoff games at Tohoto. If it happens, we'll need to purchase more batteries for camera use outside. And motion was made to buy batteries for camera for outside equipment not to exceed $300. And Patricia will resign from the committee. And that's the end of the minutes. I'll ask for, can't even think of anything, approval of the minutes. I make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second that motion. I'll second that motion to your amended minutes.
Thank you. They are, and they have been now approved as amended. All right, let's go on to the next one. Okay, so we have, speaking of the video equipment, we got bids in, and they were I'm just doing the minutes. So what is the process now of going, it's going to go out to rebid, right?
Yes. Outside of that combis list. So I don't know. The procurement officer said it's more work, but hasn't specified what that work is. I'm not sure.
Okay.
So, I mean, I guess I'll cross that bridge when we get there. Not really clear on what additional work I would need to do, but.
Okay. That's probably something that the procurement officer will have to do, right?
I'm guessing. I mean, I don't know what else I would do aside from, like, writing the description of what we need and what we have, and then, I do the same thing, contact the vendors and request quotes, but aside from that, I don't know.
Yeah, right. This means more work, just the same work, really, probably, right? I would.
Yeah,
think.
I mean, from my perspective, I don't know what would be different.
Okay. So the town meeting went well and everything got recorded well, right? It was.
Yep. We recorded and live streamed, and I think it went off without a hitch, and it ended in record time.
It did. I even learned a little bit about the recording too. I asked the employee there about trying to change the lighting on the camera, lighting settings. I was like, oh, it has to go into manual, not automatic. All right.
Yep.
So that was helpful. So did you get to speak to Rich Mariani about the baseball games?
I did not. No, I did not. I don't really have a good excuse. I was really busy and it didn't happen. I apologize.
You mean you don't have a reason, excuse?
I don't have a reason why I didn't.
A reason why you weren't able to.
Yeah, I just didn't.
No problem. But that's not until June anyways, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, I believe that's what he had said, so I think I have time.
I don't know. Anything else?
We recorded another History Matters program. This one was on immigrant labor for the building of the reservoir. Just last night there was a joint concert for Boylston and Berlin elementary schools at Tohoto, so we recorded that. There's another concert tomorrow morning at BMS that we'll be covering as well. And then on Monday, Memorial Day ceremonies starting at 9. And then, of course, just still doing meetings, recording meetings.
Cool. Are you still having to record all the meetings too?
Yeah, we've been covering as many of the meetings as we're able to. More and more are becoming in person, so that's becoming a little bit more of a challenge.
It's about 50-50 I'd say on Zoom and...
Yeah, at this point it's probably about 50-50, so the sooner we get that system in so that we can automate recordings, the better.
Yeah.
Because we're not financially we're not going to be able to do this in this fashion long term.
Right. Now, do you think that the town selectmen understand that at all?
I don't know. I mean, I've mentioned it, but I don't know.
June is aware of it. I've talked to June about it, so.
Oh, good. Thank you. Yep.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think it's, probably a conversation should be had with the select board as far as their expectations, because sort of we did this full meeting coverage during COVID when nothing else was happening, but now things are actually happening and there's sort of an expectation of complete meeting coverage going forward, and something has to give. Either we need money from an additional source, or we're going to have to cut back on the meeting coverage.
Right. Well, I would recommend someone having that conversation.
Right.
Okay, sorry, I'm just trying to write this down.
Yep, no worries.
All right. So we actually, you guys need to get in your bills or your timesheets,
Yes.
like by tomorrow or so I can get those in, because they want to finish up the fiscal year.
I think it said July 11th was the last thing for the fiscal year. There was something in our mailbox. Yeah, so
Did it?
last
Yeah, she sent out an email.
last FY22 expense warrant is Monday, July 11th.
Year-end forms. Closed out July 15th. Well, I mean, I think it would make sense to kind of get it done, right?
Yeah, but I have to, everything up until June, the last day of June, has to be this fiscal year. So, obviously we can submit invoices now, but
okay.
there'll be additional ones again right after the end of June.
Oh, well, there's the problem. Who's going to be able to do that?
Right. I don't know what the protocol is going to be for signing warrants.
Right, because then nobody ever said anything to anybody, right?
I did mention it to Margaret, and I believe she brought it to the selectmen, and they
Yeah, I saw an email where they
gave
said-
her approval to sign off on the payroll and expenses.
So when is that date? When is she supposed to start doing that? Because no one...
Probably after you resign.
Yeah.
Well, I think this is my last meeting, so...
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't...
she-
So there's no date? Like, am I supposed to do for June, or...
She told me she could do mine right away, so.
So yeah, it's probably effective immediately.
All right, so submit it. So don't submit it to me then.
Okay.
Apparently, I don't know.
Yeah, I'll send, but the thing has to be, I guess she'll fill it out, huh? The warrant, the warrant itself. She'll fill it out.
Apparently, she'll have to.
Yeah, so I'll just send her an
figure it
invoice. I'll just send her an invoice like I normally do to you.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Make sure she knows that that's going to happen, because I want everything to get paid before.
Right, of course.
Right.
Yeah, you can't get paid. So, I don't know if no one has asked me anything, so I don't know if I'm supposed to tell June or, haven't heard anything. So. Oh, well. Sorry.
Oh, no worries. No, we'll figure it out.
All right. Anything else?
Oh, there's
Any
a
new business?
concert series
Oh,
at 19 Carter again.
yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Did Evie say anything to you? Okay. She hasn't said anything to me either.
I saw it sent out. I also was informed of other information, but I don't know if it has anything to do with our meeting. So,
Okay.
it
We'll save it
surrounds
for-
those, but I
We-
guess they'll still go off apparently. But
We'll save it for after we shut the camera.
But yeah, if it's not pertinent to our meeting, it can wait until after.
yes, I just was wondering if it was still. But as far as we know, we still have these concerts going. Yeah, I got the thing right here. Look, they look good. Look fun.
Yeah. I think they shortened the time frame and it's on Saturday nights now.
When was it before?
I thought it was Friday night.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah.
And what, they're shorter now?
They're a little shorter and they're not as elaborate of a band. They're
Okay.
smaller bands,
Okay.
I guess.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yep. It's good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's anything else really. Just trying to get through the month of May.
Okay. All right. Well, should we close the meeting?
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
All right. I second it.
And I guess we're both in favor of it.
Oh, all in favor?
Yes, aye.
All right. We will close the meeting at 6:41.